Okay, today, Zechariah chapter 14, I'll be reading verse 20 and 21. Last week, 1 and 2. First two verses, today, last two verses. On that day, holy to the Lord will be inscribed on the bells of the horses, and the cooking pot in the Lord's house will be like sacred bowls in front of the altar. Every pot in Jerusalem and Judah will be holy to the Lord Almighty, and all who come to sacrifice will take some of the pots and cook in them. And on that day, there will be no longer be a Canaanite in the house of the Lord Almighty. Canaanite doesn't mean the ethnic group of people who lives in Canaan. Is the idol worshiper. It designates for the idol worship, so it's not for the people. Today I'm gonna share some video from The Secret. This sold millions of copies in the book, and another few million in the DVD. And sometimes I get so angry. Why people don't buy my book and book that's totally unnecessary. The Secret. And I'll tell you the secret. If you really want to know the secret is intimacy. Intimacy. Not just a human relationship, but everything. This morning's weather is almost perfect. Almost perfect. To have a weather like this, it's not just one thing or a few things be right. Everything that comes together. Our distance with the moon, the way Earth posits, and millions of things come together. It creates this weather. Every weather is good. My preference is this kind of thing. Little chillness with a bright sun and so clear wind. If you don't have intimacy with it, it just doesn't matter. It's just there. But the intimacy makes this weather totally smear into my being, and my being into this morning. So intimacy is the secret for everything. When you feel intimacy, so to speak, it's always be nice to you. When I feel the intimacy with this flower, actually hard to feel intimacy because we cut out and we artificially raised and even artificially colored. What a world. We have lost the genuineness and naturalness. And just because more and more human cannot fear. We cannot fear. So you have to do something to make us to fear. So it's so sad. However, still flower is beautiful. When I feel the intimacy with it, it sends me a full of blessing to me. It's not just flower there. I realize world in which I exist, world in which I live, it's not a bad place at all. It's not a bad place at all. And once you begin to see, it is blessing to be. World opens for me. It shows the secret of each being. So intimacy is the secret. What is intimacy? Intimacy simply means you are being free. If you are not free, you cannot have intimacy. We have a few new members at EM this morning. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Jeannie. How come you are here? Your father dragged you? Or you voluntarily came with your father? Which one is it? So you don't want to talk to me, just like your parents. Okay. Between father and daughter, there are so much intimacy, obviously, because when daughter, especially young daughter with father, father with the young daughter, you are free. You don't calculate anything there. You don't heavily thinking about you're just almost you are being free. So intimacy is being free, like a child, worry-free, fear-free, and control-free. That's heaven-given innocence. In Korean, it's a 천진난만이에요. Heaven-given innocence. Poet, I don't like him so much because not my style. He's a great poet, but I guess not my preference. William Wordsworth, probably a lot of people know, especially his poem called The Rainbow. And he begins his poem like this: my heart lifts up when I behold. My heart lifts up, jumping up when I behold. Then he goes, the child is the father of man. So be it when I shall grow, or let me die. And I always wonder how this guy knew these things. I'm the pastor who meditate on the Word of God, but he's a poet. When I behold, my heart is not just pumping up my body. My heart contains so much of my spirit. And the whole cosmos is spirit. So when my heart lifting up, all the cosmos opens its heart and arms for me. And the only way be like that is you be like a child. Heaven-given innocence. Adult don't know it. Adult, I'm very miserable being. All their concern is survival. All their concern is winning. All their concern is having more. And mostly useless things. A child, totally free. And so the child is father of man. And, so be it when I grow old. As I grow old, I lose this, or let me die. It's better to die. Getting old means if we are losing our childlikeness, not much of life there. So Bible, many times, if not all, coming with very childish message and pictures. I mean, it's a very ancient document, very ancient document. When Bible was written down, the historical Korea wasn't exactly in existence. At that time of ancient Joseon, ancient Joseon has three periods. It's a Middle Dynasty period. And so that also is the element. The Bible is rather than logic or rational argument. It's just an innocent picture, like. And chapter 14 gives 4 sections of very naive pictures. As it begins, it proclaims the salvation of the remnant. It proclaims with it because God don't want for us to make a mistake. We read the Bible. Okay, God brought Israelite people out of Egypt. They all died in the desert. So new generation entered into the promised land. And then what happened? There are period of judges. And total confusion, total chaotic darkness. And after that, they were continually tortured by the Philistine. This is not time to explain, but when the 12 tribes has distributed land, the middle part was tribe Dan and the tribe Benjamin. These are 2 small tribes. They are like a belt. They are in the middle. If you read the book of Judges very carefully, one of the theme in the book of Judges is tribe Dan and Benjamin disappears from the history. Where they disappeared became the entrance of Philistine. And ever since, they've been tortured, suffered by this Philistine, the invasion and their religion. And actually it became the major reason why Israel be destroyed. So to resist the Philistine, they made a dynasty. There comes the period of kingdom period. And guess what? They are destroyed. So what is God doing? And that's only you look at the surface of the Bible. If you read through carefully each period, there was always a remnant, the people who choose the truth, who choose the essence of life rather than the phenomenon, rather than appearances. So it's a remnant. It's not somebody who will be saved. Yes, there will be some remnant who will be saved, but remnant, it's been saved throughout the history. And God wants us to see that dynamic. And because of remnant, we have a Bible today. We have faith in Yahweh, who was God of Israel, to be exact, God of Judah. What does God has to do with the Korean American in 21st century who lives in America? If we don't see the essence of it, it's just vanity, even in the Bible. And the child, the heart, like innocence, see everything at the same time, not analytically. Embrace the reality and know by heart, not by brain. So it always begins with the salvation of the remnant. And the second section says the end of the light. Light is the beginning of the phenomenon. In Genesis chapter 1, how the creation begins. Let there be light. What do you mean by light? When there is light, there is appearances. When there is light, that means there is a phenomenological reality begin to be. Essence is always invisible. But phenomenon is what appear to be. So light is the beginning of the phenomenon. When there is no more light, it says no more light, no more sun and stars. When there is no more light, the world of phenomenon, they come to be end. You know, Gospel of John chapter 1, verse 4, I believe. The light was, in him was life, and life was the light of man. So it's when the essence, world of essence, encounter with the world of phenomenon, in that encountering point is light. From the light to this side is phenomenon, light to this side is essence. Do you know what I'm talking about? Obviously not, because I don't understand either. Let's say this, I burned this in very high temperature, right? It has been phenomenon, something like this. Now, in very high temperature, it goes back to the energy. How does it go back to the energy? Become a light. Light is the point which energy comes to be material, material comes to be energy. And if I have to use a scientific term, so much more. Okay, that's not important thing. Third section, you know, when I have to explain, I always say that's not important one. Ministry is so easy. It's so easy because congregation never read the Bible, don't know anything, so I could say anything. Gangno, can you check it out? What I'm saying is right or wrong? See, you are good congregation member. And verse 9 through 15, third section, realization of the reign of God. And God become the solo king, and the restoration of Jerusalem and the people comes. And the last section is sanctified the world. Everything becomes so sacred. Even horse bells in the pot, and all those things become clean and sacred. So there will be no Canaanite. There will be no idol worshippers. See, Hallyu come to be a big problem. There is no idol worship. I meant to be joke there. Okay, let us watch a video, The Secret.
I couldn't believe all the people who knew this. They were the greatest people in history.
Why doesn't anyone know this?
All I wanted to do was share the secret with the world. I began searching for people alive today who know the secret. One by one, they began to emerge.
You know, this secret gives you everything you want. Happiness, health, and wealth.
You can have, do, or be anything you want.
We can have whatever it is that we choose. I don't care how big it is.
What kind of a house do you want to live in?
Do you want to be a millionaire?
What kind of a business do you want to have?
Do you want more success?
What do you really want?
I've seen many miracles take place in people's lives. Financial miracles, miracles of physical healing, mental healing, healing in relationships.
All of this happened because of knowing how to apply the secret.
This is the great secret of life.
You've probably been sitting there wondering, what is the secret? I'll tell you how I have come to understand it. We all work with one infinite power. We all guide ourselves by exactly the same laws. The natural laws of the universe are so precise that we don't even have any difficulty building spaceships. We can send people to the moon, and we can time the landing with the precision of a fraction of a second. I don't care if you're in India, if you're in Australia, New Zealand, Stockholm, or London, or Toronto, or Montreal, or New York. We're all working with one power, one law. It's attraction. The secret is the law of attraction. Everything that's coming into your life, you are attracting into your life. And it's attracted to you by virtue of the images you're holding in your mind. It's what you're thinking. You see, whatever is going on in your mind, you are attracting to you. Now, wise people have always known that. You can go right back to the ancient Babylonians. They've always known this. It's a small, select group of people. Why do you think that 1% of the population earns around 96% of all the money that's being earned? Do you think that's an accident? It's no accident. It's designed that way. They understand something. They understand the secret. And you are being introduced to the secret.
Those are the faces of false prophets of this age. I mean, if you know the secret, Beethoven's music is just from the secret. If you know the secret, everything is okay. Marvelous discovery, marvelous challenge, marvelous things of human history. It's all because they knew the secret and people want it. And obviously that message, the conclusion is, if you really want to know the secret, pay $25. And people paying it. You know that? In Korea, the secret book is a shortest time it sold over 1 million copies. In Korea, 100,000 copies. That's a bestseller. And 1 million, over 1 million copies in 7 months. The people, so weak and dishonest. I don't care who I am. I just wanted to know the secret so I could exercise the power. It never that way. And people buying into it. In the United States, it sold over, I don't know how many. That I tracked, they sold over 5 million copies and probably send many more afterwards. That DVD alone sold more than 2.5 million copies. Not only that, they have a seminar. To register few sessions, you have to pay over $1,000. And thousands of people paying it. And you know, I know, none of them become billionaire. And the danger is, if they just lying it, that's not danger at all. Danger is, you're telling the truth, 99%, and 1% lie. That's a very dangerous thing. And all they're saying is theoretically correct. Yeah, as they're saying, it's about attraction. If the physical world is gravity that governs everything. So our thought is always a power of attraction. You know, you look at around the people. The friends, in Korean, 끼리끼리, they always 끼리끼리. That's why I have no friend in this church. No one matches my level high. You are about to send me to the mental hospital. I mean, it's we know many things. Placebo effect. You eat false drug, and if you believe you ate the drug, somehow the effect comes. So our thinking has some power to attract. Most probably famous one is self-fulfilled prophecy. You believe in certain things, you keep on thinking it, it actually comes to be a reality. And it's proven again and again, now it becomes a theory. self-fulfillment prophecy. So our thinking is not just innocent, it's not just, it has energy, obviously. But they say, not just thinking, but alignment with the feelings. It's just thinking doesn't have much power. So when you add your feeling into your thinking, making your thinking real, so it has power. Then another key is attraction and visualization. Attraction, visualization is not their term, it's not their theory, it's not they made it, it's not they discovered. If you read the old self-development or how to achieve book, right? Always two things come out, attraction and visualization. And there are Napoleon here. He is the father of so-called self-development concepts, theories, and books. And Napoleon here, his book sold over 50 million copies so far. His book was published in 1937, and over 50 million copies all over the world. And the key term is visualization. When you visualize, it has to be specific and always present tense, never the future. If you believe it will happen, then it will happen. And the future never come to you. You are already in the present, so it never come to you. So when you visualize, you have to visualize in present tense. So you want to make my sermon short, you imagine sermon is short. It's only 1 hour, sermon is short, okay? We'll see if that happens or not. And his famous phrase is, think rich, be rich. Your thinking has attraction. Think rich, be rich. The danger is, that is true. If you can never think yourself rich, being rich is out of a possibility, right? So, there's certain truth in it. Okay, we'll look at 2 more videos.
Well, I can just imagine what a lot of people that are watching this are thinking. And that is, how can I attract more money into my life? How can I get more of the green stuff? How can I get more wealth and prosperity? How can I, when I love my job, deal with the credit card debt that I have? And the realization that maybe there's a ceiling on the money that can come in because it's coming to me through my job. How can I bring in more? Intended. This goes back to one of the things we've been talking about throughout the whole secret. Your job is to declare what you would like to have from the catalog of the universe. Well, if cash is one of them, say how much you would like to have. I would like to have $25,000 unexpected income within the next 30 days, or whatever it happens to be. It should be believable for you.
Most people have a goal of getting out of debt. That'll keep you in debt forever. Whatever you're thinking about, you will attract. You'll say, but it's get out of debt. I don't care if it's get out or get in. If you're thinking debt, you're attracting debt. Set up an automatic debt repayment program and then start to focus on prosperity.
So many times people say to me, well, I'd like to double my income in the next year. But then you look at their actions and they're not doing the things that are going to make that happen. And they'll turn right around and go, well, I can't afford that. Okay, guess what? Your wish is my command.
As you are fussing about not having enough money, as you are talking to your friend about not having enough money, as you are feeling unhappy about not having enough money, you are actually activating within yourself or continuing the activation of a thought that is very different from the desire that you have launched. What it just comes down to is you just can't want more money and focus upon not enough.
When I first understood the secret, I was getting bills. Every day I'd get a bunch of bills in the mail. And I thought, how do I turn this around? The law of attraction states that what you focus on, you will get. So I got a bank statement. I whited out the total and I put a new total in there. I put exactly how much I wanted to see in the bank. So I thought, what if I just visualize checks coming in the mail? So I just visualize a bunch of checks coming in the mail. Within just 1 month, things started to change. And it is amazing. Today, I just get checks in the mail. I get a few bills, but I get more checks than bills.
I grew up on you have to work hard for money, you have to work hard for money. And so I replaced that with money comes easily and frequently. Now, in the beginning, it feels like a lie, right? There was a part of your brain that will say, oh, you liar, it's hard. So you have to know it's this little tennis match that will go on for a while.
When it comes to creating wealth, wealth is a mindset. It's all about how you think.
I'd say 80% of my coaching that I do one-on-one with folks is about their psychology and the way they think. And I know when people are listening, they say, oh, well, you can do it, I can't. Every person has the capability to change the way they're in a relationship and conversation with money.
The secret means for me actually that we are creators of our universe, and that every wish of what we want to create will manifest in our life. Therefore, it's very important what you wish, what your thoughts are, what your feelings are, because it will manifest.
We're really now moving into a new era. It's the era where the last frontier is not space, as Star Trek would say, but it's going to be mind.
I see a future of unbounded potential, unbounded possibilities. Remember, we're using at most 5% of the potential of the human mind. 100% human potential is the result of proper education. So imagine a world where people were using their full mental and emotional potential. We could go anywhere. We could do anything, achieve anything.
You may be feeling that it would be easier to be hearing these words if they had come to you the first day of your experience upon this earth. And if we were talking to you on your first day of physical life experience, we would say to you, welcome to planet Earth. There is nothing that you cannot be or do or have. You are a magnificent creator, and you are here by your powerful and deliberate wanting to be here. Go forth, giving thought to what you are wanting, attracting life experience to help you decide what you want, and once you have decided, giving thought only unto that. Most of your time will be spent collecting data that will help you decide what it is you want. But your real work is to decide what you want and then to focus upon it. For it is through focusing upon what you want that you will attract it. That is the process of creating.
I believe that you're great, that there's something magnificent about you. Regardless of what has happened to you in your life, regardless of how young or how old you think you might be, the moment you begin to think properly, there's something that is within you, there's power within you that's greater than the world, it will begin to emerge. It will take over your life. It will feed you. It will clothe you. It will guide you, protect you, direct you, sustain your very existence if you let it. Now that is what I know for sure.
As I told you, what they say is theoretically right thing. That's why it's so dangerous. What they are not saying is the problem of this book and video, whatever. The artificial thinking and feeling does not have power. Feeling has to be from your being. And they have nothing to say about being. They have nothing to say about the essence. What is appeared as thinking and feeling, they could talk about it. Yes, your thinking and feeling is totally focused upon something you will achieve. That's the truth. However, that thinking and feeling has such a power because it is your being. We cannot manipulate. Don't ever think we could manipulate. If we know the secret, we could manipulate the world. No, it's koinonia. You share yourself with the whole world, the world will share with you. If you are possessed with fear, if you are possessed with complexes, if you are possessed with all this false idea, I have to be very well educated, I have to look good, I have to. In last week's term, thou shalt. If you are possessed by that, forget it. You cannot even open your heart to the person next to you. And forget about the person next to me. You cannot even be truthful to your own self. Where does this, we are created image of God. We are here to create a better world. We are here to create better relationships, better peace, better love. But if not truthful to yourself and you try to manipulate, will it be working? Obviously not. That part they never speaks. If they speak of that, nobody buys their book, like my book. Nobody listens to their message. And everyone falls asleep. I'll give you the true secret. I told you already. The true secret is heaven-given innocence. With this whole cosmos, when you become like a child, you are no longer separated from your world. You are part of the world. World is part of you. You're just sharing oneness. In that oneness, with the truth and love, I could spring up the reality with world around me, the way we like together. That's the true secret. Did I say right? Did you understand what I'm saying? Do I have to say one more time? Everybody said, no. It's long already. Okay. So the only way of oneness with the cosmos is being like a child. The only way to share everything with everything is like you being like a child. Adult cannot believe. The tragedy of today's Christianity is full of adults. With their thinking, with their calculation. As we live, our experiences limit our acceptance, limits our forgiveness, limits our love. We become smaller and shallower and smaller and smaller. And the rest of the world, we don't want to accept. We don't want to believe. Because if I believe and if I accept, it's trouble to me. I only want to believe the world I could control, world I know, world I am comfortable with. So adult, they can never believe. You just talk to little children. They have no problem to believe in heaven and hell. They have no problem to believe in eternity. And to them, that's an obvious thing. But if you talk with the adult, anything troublesome, anything bothers them, they cannot believe. They cannot believe. And it's about the end of my sermon, and my sermon note only went to the half. So I'll just conclude quick. So what is the way to restore our heaven-given innocence, 천진난만을 회복하는 길이 무엇인가? That's a prayer. That's a prayer. That's a prayer Jesus has taught us. That's the prayer in the Bible. Hello, 성현. Yes, thank you. Is it 성현, you? There? Okay. Don't fall asleep. Sleep at your home, okay, please. Look at me. How do we be restored to our essence? That is innocence. That's our essence. When you are totally free, you are very innocent. When you truly love a mother to the baby, you become like a child. The innocence, that's our essence. And the only way to restore that innocence is you go to the Father as a child. That's why when Jesus called God Abba, Abba, it's the whole thing. That's the everything. It's significant. At Gethsemane, before his death, he calls Abba, Abba. When you go to the Father, go to God as a child, with that entering into his presence, you keep on experiencing perfect trust, perfect respect, and the perfect love that is forgiveness. After we experience thousands of times of this respect and trust and love, we come to be like a child. And when Jesus teaches about the prayer, he always uses two terms together. Whatever, anything. You could ask whatever, anything, he will give you whatever you ask. Anything, whatever, anything, whatever, anything, whatever. That's the rest of my sermon note, actually. The adult, when they hear anything, whatever, they are thinking the material things. Oh, now I could ask for anything I want. When children, anything, whatever, they hear that, the children hears, between you and I, there is nothing in between. Nothing in between. Anything can communicate it between you and I. Whatever you could ask me, I could give to you, there is no blocking. That's heaven-given innocent prayer. In the prayer, our being come to life. That's more than Porsche. That's more than billion-dollar house. That's more than 6-digit income. Maybe these days not 6-digit, 7-digit. When are you going to give me a 7-digit salary? And probably you will give me in cent. 7-digit in cent. Let's pray.